Ireland, huh? And you're not just here for the scenery, I see. This stack of research you sent over pensions, grants, insolvency. You're serious about this.
Ambitious. I like it.
Well, think of this deep dive as your roadmap. We're talking about unlocking potential here, not just skimming the surface.
It's fascinating you're looking at the whole picture, from building a secure future to navigating the risks. Smart.
Gotta be prepared, right? Speaking of which, let's start with the foundation you and your business's finances. You've got a lot on private pensions in Ireland, and those tax benefits are nothing to sneeze at.
Definitely not. It's a win-win, good for you and for attracting top talent.
Exactly. Now, you've mentioned the defined contribution scheme. Is that the most common one?
Most definitely. The simplest way to think about it is your final pension pot. Depends on contributions and how well your investments do.
So there's more to it than just setting it and forgetting it. Got it.
You've got to be strategic.
Yeah.
And that starts with, like I said, a solid understanding of your business's financial health. Revenue trends, cash flow, you've got to know where you stand.
Before you even think about pensions, you mean?
Absolutely. It's like building a house. I got to make sure the foundation's solid before you add more floors.
Makes sense. So once you've got a handle on the numbers.
Then you can start getting into the nitty-gritty. What are your retirement income goals? Risk tolerance. And this is key, what aligns with your business goals and keeps your team happy.
It's a balancing act. You did mention the Pensions Authority, good resource for guidance, I'm assuming.
Definitely. They can help you navigate all of that.
Okay, so we're talking custom-built retirement plan, not just grabbing something off the shelf. But enough about the future. Let's talk about breathing new life into the past. Old buildings, specifically. You've got tons on refurbishment grants in Ireland, and 2024 is looking like the year to jump in.
Oh, for sure. The opportunities are huge. The vacant property refurbishment grant, for example, game changer. Up to €50,000 for a property vacant for 2 years or more. That's big.
€50,000. That's a serious renovation, not just a fresh coat of paint. But it's more than just restoring a building, right? You mentioned the Coiconaith Towns Fund. I have to say, that name just sounds charming. What is it?
It's all about the heart of the community, literally. Yeah. Coiconaith translates to heart of home. And that's what it's about, revitalizing these towns and villages.
Bringing them back to life. It's more than bricks and mortar, isn't it?
Exactly. It's about community.
Yeah.
And the vacant property refurbishment grant, it's a huge part of that. But there's more. You've also got the repair and leasing scheme. Bringing vacant properties back to the rental market. Brilliant idea.
So many options. And don't forget about sustainability. You mentioned the SEAI home energy grants too, right?
Right. We're talking about a whole ecosystem of support here.
Yeah.
Financial incentives, community revitalization, and making things more sustainable. It's really impressive.
Okay, so we've talked about restoring old buildings. What about building something entirely new? Businesses. You included a lot on Enterprise Ireland grants. These are like the golden ticket for anyone with entrepreneurial dreams in Ireland, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. They can open so many doors.
Yeah.
And for making a real impact. The High Potential Startup Fund, HPSU, is the one to watch.
HPSU. Okay, I love a good acronym. But seriously, what makes it so special?
Well, for one, it's equity investment, not just loans. We're talking up to €1 million in funding.
All right, now you've got my attention. But I can only imagine how competitive it must be.
Oh, incredibly. They're looking for businesses with that it factor, innovation, scalability, a strong team.
So it's not enough to just have a great idea. You need a solid plan to back it up.
Exactly. And that's where Enterprise Ireland comes in. They're not just about funding. They're about providing the guidance and support businesses need to truly thrive.
Okay, but you're not just about the excitement of starting a business, are you? You've also got a ton of research here on microfinance and insolvency. Always planning for every possibility, I see.
Got to be prepared, right?
Exactly. It's like packing an umbrella, might not need it, but good to have it just in case. So let's talk about those financial lifelines. Microfinance first. What's the deal with this Microfinance Ireland MFI?
Okay, imagine this. You've got a killer business idea, right? But traditional banks, not biting. That's where MFI comes in.
They're willing to take a chance when others won't.
Exactly. Loans tailored for startups, small businesses, the ones who might not fit those cookie-cutter loan requirements.
Smaller loans, but potentially big impact.
Huge. We're talking over $30 million in loans, thousands of jobs created. That's the power of microfinance right there.
It's like planting seeds, watching those smaller businesses grow and add so much vibrancy to the economy. But let's be real, sometimes those seeds don't take root. That's where knowing about insolvency options comes in.
Right. And in Ireland, they've got a pretty clear framework for that. The Personal Insolvency Act 2012, Companies Act 2014. Your roadmap for tough times, essentially.
A roadmap. I like
Yeah.
that. But I'm guessing it's not one size fits all.
Not at all. For individuals, it's all about tailoring solutions. Take the debt relief notice. Smaller debts, fresh start, clean slate.
So a bit of breathing room when you need it most.
Exactly. Then there are debt settlement arrangements, working things out with creditors, coming up with a manageable repayment plan.
The emphasis is on finding a solution, not just punishment.
Right. And then for more complex situations, there's the personal insolvency arrangement, even tackles mortgage debt, which is huge.
Mm.
And of course, bankruptcy is still an option, but that's the last resort.
The nuclear option. Got it. But what about businesses themselves? What kind of support can they expect?
The Companies Act, 2014, that's the key here, lays out all the procedures for corporate insolvency. Liquidation is probably the most familiar one, closing up shop, selling off assets.
Not exactly a happy ending.
No, but sometimes it's necessary. But it doesn't always end there. There's examinership, too. Think of it like a rescue mission.
For businesses that still have potential, just hit a rough patch.
You got it. Gives them a chance to restructure, protect jobs, keep the lights on, hopefully. And for smaller businesses, there's SCARP, Small Company Administrative Rescue Process. Kind of like a streamlined, more affordable version of examinership.
So there are options, ways to navigate those choppy waters, whether you're an individual or a business. But your research also touched on something else that caught my eye. Leader.
The name itself is pretty perfect given what we're doing here.
Right. A deep dive into leader. I love it. But seriously, what is it all about?
So LEADER stands for Liaison entre Action de Développement de l'Économie Rurale. French?
Fancy.
I know, right? But in English, it basically means links between actions for the development of the rural economy.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But it sounds like it's all about supporting rural communities.
Exactly. It's a rural development program, EU and Irish government funding it together, and it's all about giving local communities the power to decide what they need to thrive.
I love that, putting the power in the hands of the people.
Right. Grants, support, all focused on creating jobs, making those rural communities more inclusive, protecting the environment. It's a big deal.
It's about making sure those rural communities aren't just surviving, but thriving. Speaking of thriving, you also dug up a lot on Enterprise Ireland innovation vouchers.
Those are fantastic.
Yeah. Tell me more.
Basically,
Yeah.
they give small businesses up to €5,000 to collaborate with researchers at Irish universities and institutions.
Wait, seriously, that's brilliant.
Right.
It's like a matchmaking service for innovation. You've got these brilliant minds in universities, innovative businesses with great ideas, and the vouchers just connect them. I love it.
It's all about breaking down those barriers. Sometimes all it takes is a fresh perspective, a bit of expertise to make a real breakthrough. And the best part, vouchers are so versatile.
New product development, streamlining processes, even exploring completely new business models.
All of that. Low-risk way for smaller companies to tap into the world of research and development. It's a game changer.
So much potential for growth and innovation. But let's not forget about a huge part of the Irish landscape, agriculture. Your research stack on agriculture and rural development grants is massive.
As it should be. Agriculture in Ireland. It's more than just an industry. It's part of the cultural fabric, the heritage. Supporting Irish farmers. That's vital.
Absolutely. And that's where these grants come in.
Exactly. Take the basic payment scheme, for instance. Direct income support.
Mhm.
Gives farmers that much-needed stability, a safety net in an industry that can be so unpredictable.
It's about providing that peace of mind.
Right. Then you've got the areas of natural constraint scheme that one helps farmers working in more challenging environments.
Recognizing that not all farmland is created equal.
Exactly. And it's not just about maintaining the status quo. Modernization and sustainability, those are key too. That's where the Targeted Agricultural Modernization Scheme comes in, right? PMS.
Okay, TMS. What's so special about it?
TMS is all about helping farmers embrace the future. New technologies, sustainable practices. It's an investment in the future of Irish agriculture.
So new equipment, upgrading farm buildings, that kind of thing.
Exactly. TMS grants help make those improvements happen, making farms more efficient, more resilient, and better for the environment. It's a win-win-win.
It's like laying the groundwork for a strong, sustainable future for Irish agriculture. But, your research goes beyond just businesses and farms. You've also got a lot here on community development grants. And it makes sense at the end of the day, it's people that make a place special, right?
Absolutely. A strong economy. It's important, but a thriving community. It's about more than that. It's about belonging, opportunity, tackling those social challenges head on.
Creating a place where everyone feels welcome and supported.
Exactly.
And these grants, it sounds like they play a huge role in making that happen.
They really do. The Community Enhancement Program, CEP, that's a great example. Breathing new life into community spaces.
Community centers, playgrounds, sports facilities, those places that bring people together.
Exactly. And CEP funding helps make them even better, more accessible, more engaging, more welcoming. And then there's the CLARE program. That one focuses on rural communities specifically.
Because they often face unique challenges. It's about making sure everyone has equal opportunities no matter where they live.
You got it. CLARE supports projects that improve those communities in all sorts of ways: infrastructure, well-being, inclusivity.
Making sure those rural areas aren't forgotten. Okay, but what about the Social Inclusion and Community Activation Program, ESSAC? I'm seeing that one pop up a lot in your research. What's that all about?
That's a big one. SACAP is all about empowerment, specifically those who are most at risk of poverty or social exclusion.
Providing a helping hand to those who need it most.
Exactly. And it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. It's about understanding the specific needs of each community and tailoring the support.
So education, job training, community initiatives, those kinds of things.
All of that and more. It's about creating pathways out of poverty, giving people the tools and the support they need to build a better future for themselves and their families.
Breaking down those barriers to success, I love it. And we can't talk about Ireland without talking about sports. Your research stack on sports grants is impressive, to say the least.
Sports are huge in Ireland, aren't they? It's more than just a pastime. It's part of the culture.
Brings people together like nothing else.
Exactly. And it's not just about professional athletes.
Hmm.
It's about fostering a love of sports and physical activity at every level.
Starting with the kids. And these grants, it sounds like they play a crucial role in making that happen.
Absolutely. The Sports Capital Program, for example,
Mhm.
funds the development of sports facilities all over the country. And then there are the local sports partnerships, grants, for all kinds of things to get people moving, get them engaged.
Team sports, individual sports, it doesn't matter. It's about encouraging that love of movement, that active lifestyle.
And the benefits go way beyond physical health, don't they?
Yeah.
We're talking mental well-being, community spirit, building those life skills, teamwork, resilience, determination. Those are things you carry with you forever.
It sounds like Ireland is really investing in its people, wouldn't you say? Whether it's through pensions and business support or community development and sports, there's this incredible network of support, this commitment to creating a brighter future for everyone.
It's really quite remarkable. It's about fostering opportunity, nurturing potential, and building a society that truly values its people.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, I have to say it's been quite a journey. We've covered so much ground, from pensions and property to community initiatives and sports. It's clear that Ireland offers a wealth of resources and opportunities for those willing to explore them.
It's been a pleasure diving into all of this with you.
Likewise. But now comes the fun part, putting all this knowledge into action.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, knowledge is only powerful if you use it.
So to our listener, we leave you with this. What will you do with everything you've learned? What dreams will you chase? What kind of mark will you make on the world? The possibilities are endless, and Ireland is waiting.
Go make it happen.